Before the sun even dared to peek over the Middle Eastern horizon, the sky trembled in absolute silence. B-1B Lancer and F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jets rose like phantoms from a secret U.S. base. Their mission? To destroy a covert Houthi missile network, deep within enemy territory. According to experts, this operation was one of the most precise and unexpected airstrikes in recent decades. But a big question lingers in everyone's mind. What exactly was the U.S. planning? What targets did they hit in this deadly silence? And why was this attack so secretive? Let's unravel this military mystery together and uncover the real story behind this breathtaking operation. Long before the first bomb was dropped, the operation began in the shadows. In an advanced U.S. base in the heart of the Middle East, ground crews worked silently under the moonlight. It was as if time had stopped. Every move, every bolt, was checked with the precision of a surgeon. The B-1B Lancer aircraft, sky giants capable of crossing continents in hours, were the backbone of this operation. These bombers were equipped with JDAM bombs, GPS-guided weapons that targeted with pinpoint accuracy, like professional sharpshooters. Alongside them, GBU-31 bunker buster bombs were loaded, monsters capable of tearing through underground concrete bunkers and reducing hidden enemy facilities to rubble. Each bomb was calibrated for a specific target, and technicians meticulously reviewed connections, GPS systems, and explosive mechanisms with strict checklists. A single mistake could turn the mission into a disaster. On the other hand, the F-15E Strike Eagle jets were being prepared with a different arsenal. Equipped with the LANTIRN targeting system, they could track moving targets like radars or armored vehicles even in complete darkness. GBU-12 laser-guided bombs and AGM-65 Maverick air-to-ground missiles were loaded for quick strikes and immediate destruction. The F-15ES's mission was not only to protect the bombers, but also to deliver direct strikes on the enemy's front lines. In the sky, MQ-9 Reaper drones had already been sending live footage of enemy movements hours earlier, while EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft were ready to jam enemy radars with interference. KC-135 Stratotanker refueling planes were positioned along predetermined routes, waiting to refuel the bombers and fighters for the long mission. The base was under complete lockdown. Only key personnel were allowed entry. The sounds of tools, radio codes, and generators were the only things breaking the night's silence. Outside the base, the desert was quiet, but inside, everything was immersed in the feverish preparation. The moment arrived, the massive engines of the B-1B roared, shaking the ground. The F-15E jets, with their blazing afterburners, took position behind them. This wasn't a display of power. It was a deadly strike package moving toward enemy territory with one clear goal: strike, destroy, and return without a trace. The flight plan was designed down to the second. The pilots knew exactly where to be, at what speed, and at what altitude. The B-1B jets, with their high-speed capability and unmatched maneuverability, moved like eagles at high altitudes, but low enough to stay hidden from enemy radars. Radar and satellite navigation systems guided them through valleys and ridgelines. The F-15E jets, faster and more agile, used terrain masking tactics, flying close to hills and rocks to remain invisible to enemy radars. In this mission, they weren't just escorts, they were hunters with specific targets of their own. Electronic warfare aircraft like the EA-18G Growler with advanced jamming systems created an invisible shield around the group. Whenever a radar tried to lock on, the Growlers blinded the enemy with disruptive signals. These silent superheroes were the key to success, in this dangerous sky. Communications between pilots continued seamlessly through encrypted channels. Information from satellites, spy drones, and ground stations flowed like a river to command centers. From the moment the first jet took off, the operation became a living network of people and machines working in flawless coordination. It's astonishing, isn't it? The enemy didn't even know what was coming. No fighters were in the sky, no radars locked on. This was the result of impeccable planning and swift execution. In modern warfare, being invisible isn't just about stealth. It's about timing, speed, and striking before the enemy wakes up. When the group reached the drop zone, everything happened in a flash. The bomb bays of the B-1B Lancer bombers opened, and JDAM and bunker buster bombs hurtled toward their targets like meteors. The JDAM bombs, with GPS-guided systems and an accuracy of less than 5 meters, and the bunker buster bombs, capable of penetrating concrete structures up to 60 meters deep, were specifically designed to destroy underground facilities. These bombs, programmed with precise coordinates, even corrected their paths mid-flight, using advanced navigation systems to hit their targets exactly. What were the targets? Underground command bunkers in the mountainous regions of Sana'a and Saada, ammunition depots filled with ballistic and cruise missiles, and critical communication infrastructure used by Houthi leaders to coordinate attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea. According to intelligence reports, these facilities included command centers equipped with encrypted communication systems and depots storing hundreds of Iranian-made missiles. The moment of impact lit up the early morning sky. Massive explosions, thick smoke, and flames marked the operation's success. Satellite imagery and MQ-9 Reaper drones confirmed direct hits. Secondary explosions in some bunkers, caused by the destruction of ammunition stockpiles, indicated that a vast amount of stored weaponry had been obliterated. Initial estimates suggested that at least 70% of the targeted infrastructure was completely destroyed. This wasn't just a superficial strike. It was a deep blow to the heart of the enemy's operations, crippling their ability to conduct coordinated attacks for months. Simultaneously, the F-15E Strike Eagle jets, armed with AGM-65 Maverick missiles and GBU-12 Paveway-2 laser-guided bombs, entered the second phase. These jets, capable of supersonic speeds and carrying up to 10 tons of ordnance, hunted down enemy radars, communication centers, and fleeing armored convoys. Surveillance drone reports confirmed that at least 4 radar units, 6 armored vehicles, and 2 trucks carrying anti-ship missiles were destroyed in the attack. The precision of these strikes was so high that even small enemy movements in mountainous routes couldn't escape the pilot's eyes. The EA-18G Growler aircraft, equipped with ALQ-99 electronic warfare systems, continued to maintain an electronic shield. Every enemy attempt to lock on with radar or activate air defense systems was neutralized by high-frequency jamming. These aircraft effectively blinded the enemy by disrupting radar bands. The coordination between these layers of attack and defense was like a military symphony with no wrong notes. Data collected by the E-3 Sentry AWACS showed that the enemy couldn't even fire a single anti-aircraft missile. The entire engagement? Less than 10 minutes. But in those few minutes, the enemy's command and control structure was paralyzed. Why was this attack so effective? Flawless timing, the result of months of intelligence gathering by the CIA and NSA. Intelligence, including intercepted communications and satellite data, had revealed that senior Houthi leaders were present at their bases in the early morning. The goal wasn't just to destroy infrastructure, it was to disrupt the leadership chain and halt the enemy's planning for future attacks on international shipping lanes. According to initial reports, the attack eliminated at least 3 senior Houthi commanders. removing their ability to plan complex attacks for the foreseeable future. The job was done when the last bomb hit its target, but the mission wasn't over. Now came the return, and exiting enemy territory was just as dangerous as entering it. The B-1B bombers climbed to higher altitudes to conserve fuel and better monitor enemy radars. The F-15E jets formed a defensive shield, ready for any last-minute threats. But the skies remained empty. The Growler jets' jamming systems continued to blind enemy radars. On the return journey, KC-135 Stratotanker aircraft were waiting to refuel the jets in mid-air. This refueling operation was like a choreographed dance in the sky. Even at this moment, pilots scanned radars and kept defensive systems active. When the jets reached the base, ground crews were ready. Each aircraft landed in sequence, flight data was downloaded, and pilots headed to the briefing room for a final debrief. The astonishing part? No aircraft was damaged. No personnel were lost. This operation was a military masterpiece. This attack was more than just a few explosions in Yemen. It was a loud and clear message to the entire region, especially to Iran. The U.S. demonstrated that it could strike deeply and decisively without needing ground forces. For Iran, this was a warning. Supporting proxy groups like the Houthis comes with heavy consequences. Analysts say the attack not only disrupted local operations, but also severed communications between the Houthis and Iranian forces. Encrypted radio traffic dropped significantly after the strike, and the enemy's logistical patterns shifted. This indicates that the command chain was hit hard. For U.S. allies like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, who face daily threats from Houthi missiles and drones, this operation was a sigh of relief. After weeks of attacks on ships in the Red Sea, the U.S. proved it's not just a bystander. It's ready to wield its power. The operation sparked heated discussions in the Pentagon and Congress. Is it time to rethink the use of air forces in modern warfare? A swift, targeted strike like this can halt a major crisis or force an enemy to reconsider its actions. And the technology? It was the real star of the show. From spy drones and satellite tracking to electronic jamming and precision bombs, this operation showcased how modern tools can achieve maximum impact with minimal forces. Perhaps the silence after the attack was its loudest message. Iran went quiet. The Houthis made no moves. For a moment, the battlefield froze. In a region always rife with tension, this silence was a victory in itself. This operation wasn't just an airstrike. It was a lesson about 21st century warfare. Instead of overwhelming force, coordination was key. Instead of prolonged conflicts, timing was the secret to success. And instead of loud threats, the results were quiet but decisive. The U.S. reminded its enemies that their networks are not safe. It reassured its allies that it's still in the game. And it showed the world that true power sometimes lies in silence and precision. This wasn't just the story of an attack. It was the story of the future of warfare. A moment that, in just a few minutes, rewrote the lines of the battlefield and proved that in today's world, a single precise strike can be stronger than an entire army. So, what's your take? How did this operation impact the Middle East's dynamics? Where do you think the future of air warfare is headed? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you enjoyed this thrilling story, give it a like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We're here to bring you the secrets of military operations and real stories. Until the next video, take care.